people on YouTube
YouTube-y.
land. Welcome. One of these days I'll remember it. Unfortunately, for some reason,
Generally have been.
my auto switcher doesn't recognize it, so I can't put it in as something to automatically do when I switch scenes. I'm not sure.
So when you switch to the live feed scene, it doesn't.
Yeah, I have to hit it manually.
Yeah.
Dur.
But, if you could, that's how you would do it, so, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. We're going for the Nidhogg trial, aren't we? We're pretty much sitting on top of the Nidhogg trial.
It's right out the front door.
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
No one is ever ready for Nidhogg.
Yeah, well...
He's going to show us the uncomfy bridge.
Well, let's see how long it takes us to find a party for the uncomfy bridge.
I'll set us up, and if it looks like it might be long, maybe we should head to
7 minutes.
Azazla and turn in Fiendish Likeness.
No, because that's going to have story attached to it.
Meh. Unlike what we're doing, which has loads of story attached to it.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a little trial and then an hour plus of cinematics.
Yeah. Hi, Urka. Yes, he is surprisingly patient for an evil dragon. Fueled purely by rage. Red rage, it gives you wings.
Something like that. Dependable Temple Knight.
Does that mean all the others aren't dependable?
Yeah, there he is, just waiting for us.
You all ready to punch him?
How do you play monk again?
Uh-oh. Could you forget how to punch things? Is your favorite pastime? Oh, you're punching the ground pretty good.
Yeah, that's all I can
maybe
do.
you shouldn't do something that cracks the ground when we're standing at the edge of a broken bridge.
Yeah, that could be a little dangerous now, couldn't it?
And now we're going to get 7 minutes of Dragon Song.
Yes. Assuming we won't get DMCA'd, but...
I think they fixed that.
Well, to be fair, one of the things is that this particular song, they actually had a rights issue about back in the day. To the point where if you streamed it or the intro inside of the game, you would get DMCA'd. Part of it had to do with the fact that the contract for the singer said one thing, but people were doing another thing with the music.
Yeah. But considering they did not ding you like when we started this and it played for some of that, I think they've more or less ironed that out.
Yeah. I think it's allowed now within the context of showing the game. Part of it is that the singer had as part of the contract that only she was allowed to do performances of the music.
Which is a heck of a contract.
And for the most part, Square has honored that. Anytime they do the piece in concert, she is there to perform it. That's the same way some of the stuff that she did early on for AAR was under the same type of thing. It took a while to iron it out. There was a little kind of bad blood for a little bit, only because it is lawyering very tight contracts with a company that's used to allowing their fan base to play and trying to find the balance with it. But it's also why this particular piece and a couple others, they actually have a fan usage agreement online that you can use to create work to help promote the game and to have fun with it. And this is one of the pieces that is not allowed to be used under that contract.
Yeah.
This and the original Answers.
And boy, there have been a lot of versions of Answers now.
Yeah. People have started to loosen up, but at any time someone can come down contract-wise.
Well, I hope we're not here for an hour of Dragon Song, though.
I hope so, too.
We're at the 5-minute mark, and we're not seeing anyone else in the party.
Well, a lot of it will depend on how many people actually are queuing for trials.
Now, given an average wait time of 7 minutes, that says a decent number of people are not the hordes you'll get in the current raids.
Yeah.
And not the hordes you'll get for round 2 for some reason.
Part of the other issue is that between AAR to Heaven's Word, there was a change on who was doing the music. The original music was by Uematsu.
Yep.
And he wanted the contracts one way, and then it shifted to Soken, who wanted the contracts another. So there was a bit of...
Well, there's also a different thing in there that probably is the back of that. Soken works for Square Enix. Uematsu, these days, is independent.
This is also very true.
He has his own studio.
And he's actually been doing a lot of concert hall stuff.
Okay, is that what he's doing since he has stopped doing as much with his rock band?
Yes.
What do you do when you retire as a world-famous video game soundtrack person? You relive your teenage years by starting a rock band.
Yes. That was the Black Mages.
Yeah, because shortly after he left Square Enix and started a studio where he did other soundtrack work, he also started a rock band called the Black Mages and performed a lot of the Final Fantasy series music.
Yeah, as far as I know, last I heard him, he was doing world tour traditional concert direction, kind of like John Williams.
Right. Yeah, I believe the Black Mages have stopped. Now there were 3 albums, and the third one was still some time ago. And I don't know of anything since. We still need to get the third album.
Yeah, the first
especially
album
since Volume 2 was so much better than the first.
Yeah, the first album was kind of meh. Volume 2 was spectacular.
Well, I wouldn't say spectacular, but it had some really good pieces in it. I consider it more of a mix. But the high points are a whole heck of a lot higher.
Oh boy, we're at 7 minutes.
We're approaching 8.
Come on.
I know, you want to raid with us.
I want to punch things. Let me punch things. He is so infinitely punchable.
Yes. Yes, he is.
But yeah, today...
It's currently about a 4-second lag on the stream for me.
Okay, not bad.
Since I actually have the timer to watch.
Yeah, sorry.
Usually it's hard to nail it down that precisely. Usually it's a lot longer than 4 seconds.
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, today Rai and Theron went in and got their weekly tokens from the light heavyweight division.
Yeah, I'm scared of what the third wing, the true heavyweight division, is going to be like. These are the lightweights.
I'm just glad we're not feeling as punch drunk after.
Yeah. Today was a lot easier on us. Average wait time, 9 minutes. Time elapsed, 9:10.
Yeah, we're pushing up the average wait time. This is sad.
Yeah.
But this is why we want to
We were the average wait time.
Start in on it as quickly as possible.
Yep. Because we're going to have a lot of cinematics after this.
Yep. We might just run overtime because of all the cinematics we can't skip. Actually, we could,
I don't
but...
want to skip.
Yeah. You don't want to skip them. Another news, one of the other big streamers who made it big initially during, it was just before Shadowbringers, when this basically class job theories came out, is Larry Zor, who has announced that he's going to be returning to full-time content creation for FF14 and other things.
And other things.
Yes. He's also...
What was the current game?
The current...
suddenly can't remember. Not only 9.
Yeah, that is pretty much in the final stages. It's been fully funded. We're waiting for it to come out on Steam. He did go into software development full-time as a day job and has decided that no, he just really loves content creation and he thinks he can make the indie game thing work, and all power to him if he can make it. Meanwhile, I'm on week 3 of working on a 3D model?
Don't know that it's been 3 weeks, at least not 3 full weeks.
But it has been hardcore pounding.
Yes, it has.
And I finally got the body done. And
doodles.
I need to work on the face, that's going to be tonight. Last night I actually did sewing because... Ooh, it popped! Because I needed to look at something else than the monitor for a while.
Yes.
Let me punch things.
And it sounds like your cover concept is approved. You just need to get the contract finalized.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. That's not good.
We're coming for you, Hraesvelgr!
Yes! Getting more and more in bad shape. Knocking stones all over the place. Apparently our samurai knows one of our tanks. Hello there, Clive. Okay, how do I do this? Why did I pick Dragoon?
Hot wing!
So how's the punching?
I'm a punching!
Oh, great. These guys, it's been too long since I've done this.
No, don't pick them
You're
together!
supposed to do them. They're just trying to power their way through this, aren't they?
Yes. flip because you can't see where he's facing, and he has only toe animation.
Yeah, him. It's been way too long since I've done either version of this.
You take less damage if everyone is in one of the portals!
Okay.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, they may have changed it.
I seem to remember they didn't actually do anything. Of course, I'm used to the hard version with like 3 of us, so we weren't doing that mechanic. Excuse me.
Oh dear! Feel her down!
Oh, good. Let me stab things.
Stabbing denied!
Ow. No, 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 no.
Oh boy, he's mad now.
He's mad before. Oh, he's glowing. Glowing red hot with his rage. Back.
Do you think this will be safe?
And someone just got stick them with a pointy E and 10.
Crack.
So somebody just hit 100. Not me. Stinian, you in there?
We're here to save you, Astidian!
Yes! The others don't care.
Yeah, they all bailed on you.
Astidian!
Is this to be mine end? Nay, I will not allow it. I am of the first brood. I am vengeance incarnate. I am Nidhogg. Thou shalt die by my hand.
I think he's still in there.
This is not your hand,
Oh, yeah.
worm. Thou wilt obey. I would ask one last favor of you, Warrior of Light. Finish me, now, while I have the beast subdued!
Yeah,
No, we're gonna do one better.
You waste your time. Kill me! It is the only way! Ending Nidhogg will be my final duty!
No! You can't die like this! I won't let you!
Darn it.
Too soon.
Yes.
That is a lot of Aether.
Yes. Please don't write.
One soul's cry, a passion welling within.
Kofi?
Sacrifice, a binary to her king.
The eyes! Cast them into the abyss!
Map.
Right, into the bottomless abyss we go.
My treachery was broke, scattering her words to the wind.
Should have done one side and the opposite sides of the bridge, but
Yeah.
long as they're away from us.
Far, far away. No further than that.
He lives. Ah, Estinian, my ill-fated friend. Lucia, summon the healers. I want them ready to receive him.
At once, Lord Commander.
Allow me to do this much, at least.
fall of their master and scattered to the winds.
Yay! We don't have to
You
deal with
have
them
my
too.
gratitude, Hraesvelga. Your deeds this day have saved a great many lives.
I'll go and flee.
Then our alliance hath served its purpose.
You want your eye back?
Ustra udin instra rea. Anhesnesh.
Thou didst wield the power I granted thee well. 'Twas thine own skill, and not mine eye, which earned thee victory. Bad and 6 randomly selected friends.
No, I think one of them is going to end up blocked.
Keifta.
I wish thy companion a swift recovery. Fare you well, children of man.
The battle is won. We can do no more for Estinian now than bear him home and wish him well, even as Hraesvelga did. The rest we must trust to the hands of the healers and the grace of the gods.
And someone set up a footbridge and a ladder already.
Yes.
They're fast.
Yeah, that person gets blocked.
Oh dear.
They basically were bitching that one of us was not performing a perfect rotation.
Right.
It's like, dude, it's MSQ, it's really late. You have no right to complain.
He's a haze of pain. I swear I sense... But no. The past is done, and we must look to the future. At long last, Nidhogg is gone, his foul spirit cast out once and for all. I only pray that Estinian survives the ordeal.
You might want to go ahead and block the person too. Now that the block list actually does things! They've actually improved its functionality, which has been sorely needed. Say when you're ready.
All done. Of course, it's kind of useless for them to be saying things like that when, yeah, I have no time to look at chat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Heroes of the hour. Alphino seems distracted. Your battle with Nidhogg's Shade will beget many an epic ballad in Ladunian Rina, and rightly so. It was, without a doubt, one of your more epochal victories. Though I must admit I took greater joy in seeing you emerge from the experience unscathed. And not only for your own sake. Had you not been there to aid me, those infernal eyes would still be fused to Estinian's mail. Yet, even with Nidhogg gone, I cannot help but wonder how much of our friend remains. Let us pay a visit to Lucia and make news of his condition.
Sounds like an excellent idea. Alfie?
Let us speak with Lucia. She will know how Estinian fares.
Rena, Master Alphino, Ladonia, my honored friends. As if winning Hraesvelgr to our cause were not enough, you took it upon yourselves to rid us of his brood brother. I know not how to thank you.
My own contribution was hardly noteworthy. The true saviors of the day were Ladonia, Rena, and Estinian. One two triumphed over Nidhogg's shade through strength of arms, and the other through strength of will.
Yeah, that was actually kind of impressive. Go Estinian!
Well, let's admit it, he's stubborn. Extremely stubborn.
Yes, he is.
Speaking of Estinian, what news of his recovery?
The Azure Dragoon was conveyed to the infirmary, where he now resides under the care of our hospitaller captain. I'm told he is yet to regain consciousness. But as you know, Estinian's mind and body were held hostage for many days.
A few weeks at least.
I counted in the months range, actually. We must be patient and allow the process of healing to begin. In the meantime, you would do well to rest and recover from your ordeal.
But surely...
Sarah Merrick is never long from Estinian's bedside, and will send word the moment there have been developments. Don't call me Shirley. Now, if you've satisfied your concerns, I'll believe the Lord Unman and his sons are most eager to celebrate your return.
Very well. First Commander. Come, Ladonia, Rena. It would seem that we're awaited at Fortom Manor.
And away we go! Yes, please show us inside.
The heroes of the hour return.
We but did our duty, my lord. It was the memories of fallen friends and not our heroism which saw us through at the last.
I gave every ounce of my strength, but mine efforts would have counted for naught had the Warrior of Light not arrived to challenge the Great Worm. As a sworn knight of Ishgard, I had hoped to do more for my city.
Well, we cannot all be heroes, dear brother. Let us put away our pride for a moment and revel in the valiant deeds of our comrade. For your sterling service to Ishgard, we salute you. And while we're on the subject of valiant deeds, I believe I myself have earned some small measure of recognition. Under my watchful command, the ballistas of the Outer Ward struck down a veritable swarm of Dravanian invaders.
My lord's command was certainly watchful. He bravely watched as the siege crews took aim, and continued to watch as countless wyverns met their end. Indeed, the ward's defenders proved so well drilled that my lord had little occasion to stop watching.
You go, Honoroi.
There will be time enough to determine who is most deserving of recognition later. Our friends are doubtless weary from their exertions.
And you're wary of being stuck in the middle of these two as their father. Got it.
I had Chambers prepared in expectation of your return. You are welcome to retire at your leisure.
I am most grateful for your hospitality, my lord, but I believe I shall pay a visit to the Temple Knight's Infirmary. Pray excuse me.
Someone is worried for his friend.
Yes.
Our master Alphino has grown. The plight of his stricken
sure
brother-in-arms pains him more than his own hurts. In which respect he has come to resemble you, warrior of light. Go then, visit the Azure Dragoon, and grant him what comfort you may.
But Alphino shares a bond of firewood gathering with him.
Yes, he does. Artoel?
At long last, Nidhogg is gone. No true son of Ishgard could wish for more. Yet scores of my brother knights fell into battle, and I find my joy tempered by their loss.
Count Edmond?
Go, warrior of light. We will not begrudge you time spent at a comrade's sickbed.
Madeleine.
Without the guiding hand of yours truly, House Helenert's famous dragon killers wouldn't have killed half so many dragons just now, as I shall be sure to tell my lady when next we meet.
Yeah, she's not gonna buy it. Honoroi.
If my lord's irrepressible optimism were ever to fix upon something about which he had cause to be optimistic, I dare not think what he might achieve.
Ooh! Wow. Yeah.
And on that note, we will exit.
Yeah. Honoroi is gonna be a heck of a man when he grows up.
Oh yeah.
And back to the Knights Most Heavenly. I mean, heck, after all this, he's still in his youthful stature and is actually written like full books.
Yeah.
Scholarly work,
going to be accomplished.
Yeah, he is. He really is. Amanele doesn't deserve him.
But he needs some.
Yes. Yes,
he needs
does.
someone to puncture that ego on a regular basis. Ah, hi, Merrick.
Hey, Merrick.
Adonia, Brenna, my friends. What can I do for the saviors of Ishgard? You seek Master Alphino. Ah, he came to relieve me of my vigil a short while ago. When he begged to sit at Estinian's side, I could not well refuse him. Though he would sooner faint than admit it, the boy must be exhausted by Hrisfelger's trial and all that followed. Estinian is blessed to have such devoted comrades. Indeed he is. Actually, check Lucia.
Estinian is resting in our infirmary. The sick
Thank
beds.
you.
Yeah. What? He's sleeping with the entire infantry? Estinian is resting in our infirmary. The sick beds are our front line now, and the battle to save the wounded continues unabated. Andalou?
Yeah. Oh. Though our principal foe lies defeated, we shall continue to keep order inside the walls and protect the citizenry. And that much, at least, the duties of the Temple Knights remain unchanged. Litany of Peace. Emeric appears lost in nostalgia. You'll have to help him find the way out. My own friendship with Estinian began some 10 years past, shortly after we joined the Temple Knights. I learned his name soon enough, but Estinian barely registered my existence. I was less a fellow recruit, and more a shadow which occasionally darkened his path. And so I might have remained, had fate not seen to intervene. While out on patrol, our company was set upon by a dragon, and we were the only two to survive. The experience forged a bond between us, as such life-threatening situations were wont to do.
Ah, trauma bonding.
Despite our friendship, he remained an intense and solitary youth, wholly obsessed with claiming vengeance against Nidhogg. Revenge was ever at the forefront of his mind. Revenge for the death of his parents, and revenge for his younger brother. I would venture that in Alphino he sees something of his lost sibling. And in the ungentle chidings of Estinian, Alphino has found the older brother he never had. Truth be told, Estinian's tactless observations have saved me from disaster more than once, and I can well understand Alphino's affection for him. He is a friend for whom I would gladly... Lord Commander, your presence is required in the infirmary.
Uh-oh.
Is he... Tell them I'm on my way. Dramatic organ sting. Right on cue. Lucia?
Oh, sorry. Too late.
Oh. So it is over then. And hello. I did not take the Azure Dragoon for a man to pass in his bed. Quickly, Ladonia, Rena, we must go to him. Upon proceeding to the infirmary, several cutscenes will play in sequence. Yeah. Recommended set aside time. Yes, we're proceeding to the infirmary.
Alphino?
Estinian!
Oh no. Well, he's breathing.
And more.
Cease your mewling, boy. It grates my ears.
Yep, he's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I think he needed some grating to force him to wake up.
Forgive me. When I saw you awaken, I could not... It was such a relief. We feared you might never wake up.
Now, Estinian. If Master Alphino thought any less of you, you would still be Nidhogg's plaything. Or dead.
Aye, 'twas but a jest. I thank you, Alphino. And you too, Warrior of Light. Quite how you managed to persuade Hraesvelgr to aid in his brood brother's downfall I cannot imagine. But full glad am I that you did. Yet again, you have achieved the impossible.
It's what we do.
Wow, and that should be a separate voiced line.
I, for my part, owe you an apology. When last we met, I did willingly loose an arrow at your heart. Can you forgive me?
There is naught to forgive, Emeric. You but acted in defense of Ishgard as is your duty. Were you any less single-minded about it, I would not follow you into battle, nor trust you at my back. Besides, I had come to the selfsame conclusion, that I would have to perish for Nidhogg to be stopped. So let us dispense with the hand-wringing. I have heard enough mewling for one day.
Oh!
Someone disgruntled with the mewling.
The tendrils of Nidhogg's foul presence bound up every fiber of my being, usurping my senses, but I yet retained some trace of awareness. The worm's mind was as a vast and tumultuous sea. Endlessly its black waters churned, his grief and despair at Ratatoska's murder never calming, never receding. Driven by this surging current came wave upon wave of unrelenting rancor. It was the very image of my own heart. There I saw the dark reflection of the hatred I felt after Nidhogg slew my family, when no path remained save vengeance against dragonkind. Neither one of us had a choice. But I was blessed with something Nidhogg was not. Comrades and teachers to console and admonish me. Had I not had them to gainsay my obsession, it would surely have consumed me as Nidhogg's did him, and we would have been in all respects alike. Though his shade is banished, his spirit scattered upon the sea of clouds, I feel no joy at his passing. Where once I craved vengeance, I now crave rest. Lord Commander, my hunt is at an end. I would lay down the mantle of Azure Dragoon.
My friend.
He has tired himself with too many words. I doubt not that he will make a full recovery, but he must be allowed some few days of quiet.
And quiet he shall have.
I too must see my path to its end. Sleep well, my friend.
Following the battle with Nidhogg on the steps of Faith, Sir Emeric called an assembly that he might make his final proclamation as acting head of state. 'Twas there, with one decree, that the 1,000-year rule of the archbishops was ended, paving the way for a new republic. The governance of Ishgard would now be placed in the hands of high and lowborn alike, their ranks represented by the newly founded House of Lords and House of Commons. Church was separated from state. The foundation for change had been carefully laid, and the reforms proposed by Ishgard's new government passed into law without incident. His duty done, Emeric de Burrell gladly stepped down from the Archbishop's dais, only to be raised unto the highest seat in the House of Lords. Though he strove at first to refuse this honor, the unexpectedly strident voice of the Count de Durandare left him little choice but to accept. And so it was that the winds of gentle revolution came to stir. Prominent among the many honored guests at Sir Emeric's investiture were the ambassadors of Dragonkind, a fitting symbol of Ishgard's newfound peace. The people looked on in awe as he soared through the heavens on Dragonback. And by their cheers did they hail him an azure dragoon for a new age.
He has his eye back.
Thus were the notes of the dragon song rewritten, the din of war giving way to a rising litany of peace and hope.
From the Memoirs of Count Edmond de Fortom, Heavensward.
Boom.
And let the Estinian and Americ shipping show begin.
Oh, they were shipped to start with. Let's just begin, Kimosabi. Hey, Merrick. Good flight there.
I was gazing out at the sea of clouds, in an all too rare moment of idleness, when I chanced to behold a certain hero wending their way towards the city on Dragonback. Welcome home, Ladonia. Rena. Nay, 'twas no grave matter that moved me to greet you in person. Between you and me, I merely sought respite from the pressures of office. No sooner do I surrender my role as temporary head of state than I am burdened with a position of more permanent responsibility.
Fail upwards!
The reward for a job well done is another
job.
I fancy it echoes in some small measure the way you must feel when your improbable feats of heroism were rewarded with still more impossible challenges. The myth which guided our society for generations lies in tatters. Am I then to be scorned for building upon the system of nobility that I once sought to tear down? And what strange jest is this that places me at its pinnacle, an archbishop's bastard at the head of the House of Lords?
I don't see a problem with it.
But these questions are for me to answer. Is it not in man's nature to change? It is not in man's nature to change overnight. This I learned through painful experience. And it was this hard lesson which convinced me to take the path which we now follow. Even as we rebuild the bridge between man and dragon, so must we reimagine Ishgard, one carefully placed stone at a time. We must remember that it is not for us that we lay this groundwork, but for the men and women that our children will become. May their towers rise proudly from the fundament of our legacy. I hear word from Captain Whitecape that Estinian has vanished from his sick room. His willfulness survives undiminished.
You expected anything different from him?
Should you ever happen upon our unmannerly friend upon your travels, pray assure him that I shall keep Ishgard safe until he deigns to come home. Thank you, Ladonia, Rena, and please convey my warmest regards to Master Alphino.
Okie dokie. I think we can do that.
Mm-hmm. Photon Manor.
Of course. All roads lead to Photon Manor.
Except for those that go to the Raising Stones, or the Waking Sands.
Or the Baldessian Annex.
Yes.
For later.
Yes.
Much later. Like a couple years from now later.
At least.
I assume you got different dialogue during that as a Dragoon.
Yeah. They referred to me as being the Azure Dragoon.
Yes, please show us in. Hey, Tataru's back! Hey, Tataru! You've saved the day again, Rena, Ladonia. Not that I ever doubted you two would.
Saulette?
Oh, sorry, I clicked on that one.
Mistress Frith, Saulette, my name is Saulette. I'm sorry, I've just begun working here and I'm not rather famous, you see, and pray excuse me.
Basking in the hero worship, I see.
You spoke with Sir Merrick. I do not envy him his new position. Ishgard has chosen a new road, but one littered with the detritus of 1,000 years of broken faith. Yet though her people may stumble from time to time, I know of none better than Sir Merrick to lead the march of progress. As for us, there remains the small matter of ushering in a new dawn in the shadow of inscrutable Essien machinations and a seemingly endless procession of primals. But we too must walk our chosen path, no matter how treacherous the footing.
It's our lot in life.
Wind up by Merrick, Dragon Song orchestration roll, and an alpine coat.
In the wake of Ishgard's governmental reform, new airship routes have been sanctioned. You may now travel to selection of distant locales from the Ishgard landing.
Did that happen at this point before? I thought it was later.
No, they added that in after we passed through.
That's what I thought.
It came in, I believe, during late Stormblood.
Yeah.
Oh dear, what is he up to?
Nothing good?
Not with that expression.
No. That was a grin.
Oh dear.
Thank you, Blenherds. Nay, you need not remain there. We shall rendezvous at the usual place. All is proceeding as expected, then. Aye, there is naught to concern us, aside from one overly curious mouse. Oh dear. Aha! Oh, okay.
Still.
This way. Given the Shania, I was expecting that to be, what's her name? Him again. It is of no moment. They will play their part, and we will play ours.
You're not helping, Elizabeth.
He never helps.
This is why he's off our Theron and Riley's Christmas card list.
Yes! And thus did grey mists give way to azure skies, man and dragon rise above, voices joined in song. But beneath shrouded boughs, beyond the scope of light, shadow stirs.
Woo! New game
For
pass.
the Horde. Ow.
Yes. Yes, that was Thancred.
Yes.
Thancred originally
This is Thancred.
Was a combination rogue paladin. He was multi-classed.
And
which is really funky
supposedly
because...
bard.
Yeah, he claims bard, and we're like, no, you're not a bard.
Go back inside.
Because he shows off being effectively a quote-unquote gladiator, which is what paladins start out as.
Right.
But when dealing with a Efreet, he actually uses a ninja ability before ninja ever came out.
Yes.
And everyone's like, Nani?
Somewhat literally.
Alfie?
It would seem that our dear friend Estinian has slipped from his sickbed and vanished from the city. Were to anyone else, I might expect a word of farewell, but such is not his way. Nevertheless, I shall thoroughly berate him for his lack of manners the next time we meet.
You go for it! When the Horde began their assault, I made sure to have my trusty grimoire in hand and incantations at the ready. It has been some time since I last conjured Carbuncle. However, it's probably best that we don't discuss how that ended. Yes. Last I checked, your Carbuncle ran for the hills!
And is still in the hills.
Yes, it's still in the hills. That's a plot point. Remember that for later.
Yes. The paths we walk.
Do we want to hold on that?
That's
going to be a
going to be
very long chain.
Not the. Oh, is that not? Is that a side? That's the side story bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll definitely want to do that in one go. It'll probably take all night.
Let's head over to where's the holiday start? Gridania?
Yes, Gridania.
And at least get a start on that.
But we definitely want Orca from there because that quest is effectively a recap for all of Heaven's Word. Hello, Artorial.
Let's see. That is the end of the 3.3 story. Hello. My father has relinquished the title of Count and named me his official successor. I expected to feel different. But the truth is, little has changed aside from the manner in which people address me. I'm the same man I was yesterday, though now I know not what the morrow may bring.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, sadly, Edmond is still around. He does show up once or twice. We will never hear his voice again.
Yeah. Well, after this patch cycle, yeah. His voice will
I don't think there's any other quests unless it's in the side story. / recap story. We do see him a couple of times later, but we won't hear him. His voice actor died a few years ago.
His English voice actor.
Fair.
You do kind of have to specify. At the same time, they aren't afraid to recast. I mean, they had to recast.
Yeah, but they have avoided it on him so far.
Yeah. Well,
but
the story's kind of moved on from him, so it makes sense.
I know, but I haven't moved on from him.
Fair enough. Like, they have recast Higiri. Because that was very tragic. But we lost her as well.
Right.
Or her original voice actors, anyway.
Yes.
And we never did learn how the fellow who played Edmund passed away. Just that he did.
No, we have. I don't remember. I think it might have been cancer.
That would not be surprising.
Yeah. And dang it, there are still times when I'm going through the Assumption's 100 Years for History where I start hearing Edmund's voice.
I can totally believe that.
All I have to do is slow down the pace of my reading a little bit. Because he does talk kind of slow and measured.
Yeah, he also was big for doing the radio stuff for Doctor Who. Yes, that is the white mage barding, and that's what Peeps is currently wearing.
Yes. Well, that reminds me. What do I want to do this in? 63, 65. Dragoon is kind of behind everything else, so I'll stick with it.
Yeah, I believe, I know we lost Higiri's voice actress earlier than Edmond's. And
it's been a while since we lost Edmond's.
Yeah.
I think we were still in Stormblood when we lost him.
Yeah, and I believe we lost her just before Stormblood.
Okay.
It was right in the part where we weren't quite playing yet, or I had come back.
Right.
But yeah, double murder. She and her 6-year-old son were murdered by a jealous ex-boyfriend. Yeah, that was quite the case. Hello, Crier.
Hello there, pumpkins. Enjoying the festivities, I hope. If there's anything you'd like to know, just ask away.
Who are you?
We're a terrific troop raised under the auspices of the pumpkin-headed lady. Oh no. With us at the helm, All Saints' Week is set to be a fright-filled fest for all and sundry.
Oh, so the ogre Pumpkinhead is back.
Yeah, well, she has kind of put everyone else in their places. We've prepared all manner of exciting events that are guaranteed to delight and affright. So why not take a brief respite from the daily grind of adventuring and join in the festivities?
What is All Saints' Week? Not like we haven't done this before, but yeah.
Legend has it that once a year, the 12 honor the saints by hosting a lavish feast in the heavens. While the saints are away, however, the realm is bereft of their divine protection, and creatures of darkness come out in droves. Fearing for their lives, the people took to shutting themselves inside their homes. Those who had no choice but to venture outside disguised themselves as fiends, in hopes that they would go unnoticed by the real ones. Frightening business, isn't it? But that's all in the past now. For these days, we have valorous adventurers like you to keep our cities safe when the saints are away. Having no more reason to be afraid, the people went and turned All Saints' Week into a fun celebration. A truly delightful state of affairs.
Aha! Aha!
Well, you heard what he said about us before.
Yeah,
He's part of the troop, so...
Hello, vendor! Can we buy from you yet? Yes! Flying pumpkin! Tabletop!
Bewitching winged gourd ideal for All Saints' Wake, or really, any occasion.
I just
and of course, pumpkin prisms.
Of course! Pumpkin prism!
Yeah.
What? You have a problem? I thought this looked good on me. It's one of the few
You're swelled head.
Yes, and?
Hi there. The ether-starved Araman. Good here. I'm worried about this picture.
You should be.
The pumpkin-headed apparition is on the lookout for an able adventurer.
It's been a few moons since we've last met, friends. And so, as it happens, I have a proposition suited to your talents. Are you prepared to throw caution to the wind and consult with fiends the foul once again? Of course you are. But before we get to the heart of the matter, let us reflect upon the history of All Saints' Wake. Again? Didn't we just talk to the guy out front about this?
He just told us about it. Now we have to reflect on it. Yeah.
On this night do fell fiends emerge to cavort and careen, unconcerned with the judgment of those on high. For the halls of the saints' heavenly abode ring with merriment as wine flows freely, and no one can be bothered to look down. Thus did God-fearing folk greet this particular sunset with trepidation, daring not to venture from their homes. No longer. Nay, for adventurers came and drove out the Voidsent, restoring safety to the city's streets and marking the occasion as one of jubilation. That's all and well and good, but what of the poor forsaken fiends? Are they too not deserving of revelry? My wish is to see All Saints' Wake reborn as a celebration for all, be they ghost, ghoul, Gridanian, or otherwise. And how do I propose to accomplish this feat? Binding obligations, friend. I've convinced the more sinister sort to enter into contracts which forbid them from preying on mortals. In exchange, they are permitted to partake in the festivities. But there's one troubled soul who seems incapable of getting into the spirit of things. Perhaps you'd be willing to give them a helping hand? Nothing too devilishly difficult, I promise.
Why do we have to deal with him again?
You know it. Before you get started, you'll want to get a grasp of the particulars by speaking to Papa Gruff. He ought to be performing one of his shows by the entrance of the Great Lone Growery. Now go, and I shall be watching your performance with great interest. Seek out Papa Gruff near the Great Lone Growery. I dare say you'll find him in the midst of one of his performances. And remember, I shall be watching.
Yes.
I could just hear him across the internet. Lady, are you tall?
Eh?
The, Lalafell was looking up at you very intently.
Ah.
Okay, Gruff, what are you up to?
Although it pains me so, our humble performance must draw to a close. Let us then end things on a high note. Ladies and gentlemen, I bid you feast your eyes on the fantastic Philcox and his transformation magics. Yep, that's transformed. What was all that about? The clowning and whatnot was a right laugh, but that last bit was bleeding rubbish. Come on, let's get out of here.
You disappointed the children!
Kids,
Shame!
first critics.
Shame!
Once more, you failed to muster up even an ounce of magical prowess. I had the crowd in the palm of my hand. We'd have been the toast of the town if not for your blunder. There you go again, shrieking the same old tune. I've had it up to my eyeball with this farce. Just because you know a few cheap tricks doesn't give you the right to treat me like that. I can't stand the sight of you, let alone the thought of taking to the stage with you again. Good riddance.
Oh dear. Things not going peaceably in Void Town?
Well, well. Fate has conspired for us to cross paths once again. Out with it then. I know you're not here to swap pleasantries. Miss Pumpkinhead asked us to look in on you. A foul fiend failing to get into the spirit of All Saints' Wake. I'd wager you speak of Philcox, a fellow who stormed off in a huff. Like most of our ilk, Philcox and I have an insatiable appetite for aether. But unlike your garden variety void sent to hunt hapless mortals like beasts, we prefer to sate her hunger with their enthusiastic approval. I tell you, there's no aether as delectable as you'll find in food gifted in genuine appreciation. Which set me to thinking. Perhaps preying on mortals was an old-fashioned and misguided approach. Thus did I commit to giving folk the sort of frights that dazzle and delight, winning hearts and minds, and in the process no small number of aether-laden delicacies. And what better occasion than such terrifying amusements as All Saints' Wake? The method is catching, too. Many Voidsent now seek aether in this manner. Philcox is one such reformed individual. When I first laid eyes upon him, I sensed promise. But get him in front of a crowd, and you're lucky to get a smattering of half-hearted applause, let alone a few measly crumbs. You'd be better off hearing it from the Araman's mouth, though. He can't have gotten far. Now, if there's one thing Araman's had...
Well, he's really reformed.
You remember how much he's been beaten up by Mr. Spunkenhead.
Yeah, we've done our fair share of smacking him silly.
Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Philcox.
Oh, there it is. That sniveling whelp of an imp. Magic's this, magic's that, the sheer unbridled cheek of it. Philcox is practically frothing at the mouth. So incensed is he by his treatment at the hands of Papa Gruff. You must soothe him before attempting to start a conversation. Fine.
Hey.
Apologies. I had taken leave of my senses. Your timely intervention is much appreciated. Wait, by the looks of you, I'd say you're adventurers. Let me guess. That pumpkin-headed lady sent you to check up on me, didn't she?
Of course she did.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you my tale. Try as I might, I just can't get the hang of transformation magics. Without the means to delight the crowds, we're starved for appreciation. I'm an Araman. Paralyzing prey with this big eye of mine? Not a problem. Turning them to stone with a petrifying glare? Trifling task. Hells, I can even smell despair and all manner of negative emotions in the people around me. Obviously, paralysis and petrification won't win over an audience. And my metaphorical nose for despair isn't going to put ether on the table either. I ought to just tell that pumpkin-headed lady I'm not cut out for this business. If you're here at her behest, you'd better come too.
Seems that he has a good eye for the problem at hand.
Mm-hmm. Sad Araman of unlife.
Which is good, because if he blinked, he might miss it.
Yeah, I don't know that I
get a groan out of Orca.
I shudder to think of the lady here and Zero bumping into each other.
Oh boy, that would be entertaining.
That about sums it up. I gave it my all and have not to show for it. Which is to say, I've come to the conclusion that I will never be an entertainer.
I gather you had a hand in Philcox's decision to lay bare his thoughts and feelings.
No hands, just a soothe. Not that it did any good. I'm still stuck at square one. underappreciated and underfed.
Such a curious child. Are you truly so blind to your own potential? No doubt you have an inkling as to what I speak of. Pray, share your wisdom with Wilcox.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I was kind of thinking in the realms of, with the right setup and everything, a show with paralyzation and such could actually work. But no.
Stamp out any negativity you sense within the common folk.
I suppose I could give that a go. But do you really think that if I rid people of their woes, they'll repay the favor? I'm unfamiliar with mortal customs, but if you say so... Ah, wait, I see the logic in it now. What better way to make use of my talents and knock that Papa Gruff right off his pedestal? Well, if that's what motivates you... No, I'm getting ahead of myself. I have no idea where to start.
Perhaps I can lend a little hand with a little sleight of hand. Hold still.
Okay then.
Not only is that get-up guaranteed to turn heads, each and every thread is imbued with potent magic to aid you in your newfound purpose.
Oh, I think I can feel it. Maybe this isn't going to be so tough after all. There you are. I had thought to apologize for my harsh words earlier, since our act was my initiative and therefore our success, or lack thereof, was ultimately my responsibility. But I sense that you've been scheming. It pleases me to inform you, Papa Gruff, that I found a way to win over mortals on my own terms. I find that hard to believe, but since you seem so confident, why don't we have ourselves a contest? Whoever garners the most affection, and thereby the largest share of the aether-rich rituals, wins. And to the victor go the spoils of subservience. The loser will be bound to obey their every whim. How does that sound? You're on. I hope you're ready to bow and scrape.
I don't know about
okay?
this.
Huh. That mortal epithet about one's bark being worse than one's bite comes to mind. Prepare yourself, Wilcox. I know I've got this marvelous magic outfit, but I'm still not entirely convinced I have what it takes to beat Papa Gruff on my own. Come with me, just until I get the hang of things. That's all I ask.
You're still gonna have to put in the work. I ain't gonna do it for you. Very well. I shall leave Wilcox in your capable hands.
Though they might need to wait a week.
Yeah, it is that time.
And next Sunday will be the final day of the celebration, so we can finish it then.
I trust you will do everything in your power to assist Wilcox in his endeavors.
In 7 days.
Now, is that the final day or the final weekend?
The final day is Monday. That following.
Okay. You can understand why I wanted the specification.
Yes. But they specified the final day as being the 4th, as I recall. We should double check it. And maybe do an emergency stream during the week or something if I'm wrong.
Also, keep in mind, Theron and Rylea have yet to do that, so...
I know. They will definitely need to find some time next Saturday, if nothing else.
Maybe do it Thursday, Halloween?
Yeah, maybe.
Like we ever get trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, I need to make sure we have some candy just in case. We used to get them, and they've been slowly getting siphoned away.
It is what it is.
It's disappointing. I want to see the costumes.
Yeah, well, part of it is we don't have that many kids in the neighborhood, one. And two, why should they hang around a humdrum house with no decorations because we're not allowed to put anything up?
Oh, we wouldn't have the money to put much up anyway.
But it is actually in our rental contract. We're not allowed to put any exterior decorations up.
Meow.
Combined with
that hasn't been ignored on occasion.
Yeah, well, Christmas wreath, damn it.
Well, I was speaking, there's been lights on some of the upper floor apartments.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything if you don't say anything.
Exactly.
Combine that with we're not that far from the historic district of...
Which is what's kind of been siphoning them off.
And you know how there are people who go out of their way to do these drives through Christmas lanes, all decorated with lights? Imagine that, except for Halloween. The entire neighborhood.
Yeah, and then they switch it over for Christmas and everything, and you just have acres of lit up houses for months.
So, yeah, we can't compete with that. It's just not gonna happen.
No.
I'm debating whether I want to try and do any costume for Halloween or not. I think, I don't know. I found a nice little hoodie.
Yes.
But
I'll need to.
It'll be a bunch of panic sewing.
Yeah. I'm actually amazed that you did the bag all last night.
Oh, that was easy. I just kind of mad that I got my measurements off. But then again, there wasn't much material to work with.
Yes.
So.
And it still works. It is perfectly fine.
Anyway, with that said, it is time to call it an evening. Thank you all very much for coming. We will be back tomorrow night for Theron and Rylea as they continue to go through class quests.
And we are on
ending of healer. No, ending of magic.
No. Yeah, ending of casting.
Yep. With that said, be safe, be well, get a good night's sleep, and we will hopefully see you tomorrow.
Yes. Everyone have a great night. Hope to see you here tomorrow at 9:30 for the Acme Special Hour.
Indeed. As I